Why do private property rights matter? Off the top of your head, I'm sure that you can think of many reasons why, right? Without private property, people could search through your home whenever they please. Without the protection of privacy for private property, nothing could truly be private and confidential. Your cell phone is just waiting to be searched. So aside from things being private and confidential, why should private property be protected at all costs? First, I think that we can all agree that we don't want people to go snooping through our belongings. Imagine you come home from work one day and find authorities rummaging through your house searching all the things you have. As human beings, we all need privacy. It's not a privilege, it's a fundamental right. How can you live without the protection of privacy of private property? Every time you go to sleep, every time you shower, every time you do anything, someone could be there searching your things since you don't have the protection of privacy and private property. What should be done about this? Well, I think we should pass a law that inflicts the right of protection of privacy and private property. This law should be passed on the federal level so that way it applies to the entire United States of America, and it should be in the judicial branch since this is in the context of justice and liberty for all. Hi, I'm Cohen Farnsworth, and I believe that privacy of private property should be protected at all costs. My opponent Parker argues that this privacy we have should be allowed to be violated, disturbed, and manipulated, just because there's a suspicion that something illegal or in violation of our contract is happening. On the surface, this may seem like a great idea. Who wouldn't want a criminal's house to be searched for evidence? But the thing is, you can never trust what's on the surface. This is just the tip of the catastrophic iceberg, and our privacy of private property is the Titanic that will sink because of it. To begin, privacy of private property is a fundamental human right that we are all given. That's why doors have locks, why houses have alarms, and why your Wi-Fi has a password. By choosing against that protection of privacy of private property here at Wonder, you are choosing to allow people to perform certain seizures anytime they like. You are worsening the culture because people will be stressed out that nothing can be private. And lastly, we are jumping headfirst onto the slippery slope of more and more violations of our protection of privacy and private property. If we lose our protection of privacy and private property at all costs, where is it going to end? Are we going to have TSA officers give us pat-downs before we enter the school? You may be thinking that this is an extreme example, but it really isn't, because the only reason we have TSA officers in airports is that they went against the same privacy of private property we have today. Think about the last time you went to an airport and had to wait in those long and annoying lines at security. Is that what you want our school to look like? Did you know that 1 in 7 travelers misses their flight because of long lines at security? And that in the United States there are 1.73 million Americans flying each day? That means that 247,142 people in the United States miss their flight a day. Combine that with the fact that the majority of people that come to school arrive around 8:40ish, and it takes 20 minutes to get through TSA, and a lot of people would be getting to school late. Is this what you would really want? You want your child to be stressing out about getting to school on time to make it through security? These are the few of the reasons why we should have protection of privacy and private property, but I'm not done just yet. The next reason is that having privacy can actually lead to better mental health. This article from Psychology Today has some good and insightful information on how privacy can really affect your mental health. To begin, having privacy can allow an individual to do some much-needed self-reflection. Now, that might not be directly comparable to the privacy of private property, but it still is privacy, and what's to keep the school from taking that away from us too? Tell me, Parker, do you want your fellow learners to have poor mental health? Mental health is arguably one of the most important aspects of a living being's life, and many different species have shown us. Let's take a look at birds, specifically umbrella cockatoos. Umbrella cockatoos are some of the hardest birds to take care of since they are basically toddlers. Because they are so difficult to take care of, many people often fail to give them proper care, and as a result, it harms their mental health. It makes them pluck their feathers, scream, act hostile, and become a nightmare of a bird. The same thing can happen to humans if their mental health takes a decline, just in different ways. So I ask you again, Parker, is the mental health of your peers worth it? As I reach the end of this argument, I would like to leave you with one thing. Privacy is a human right, and it impacts many aspects of our lives, and we are far better off with it than without it. I am Cohen Farnsworth, and I think our privacy of private property should be protected at all costs.